We have finally reached the culmination of a long, memorable journey. Because it's been about a year since I started making videos, and my first was for Avengers Infinity War. If you go back and watch it, you might notice that it's terrible. Now, I noticed the view is more than a little late, but I just wanted to give my opinions on Avengers Infinity War. But of course, I was just getting started with YouTube. I was also a complete nobody, and no one cared about what I had to say. Now, a year later, I'm more experienced and fluent, and not much has changed. But anyway, this is where it all comes together, sort of. So it's once again from the Russo brothers, and continues from the cliffhanger ending from Infinity War, which you probably know even if you didn't see the movie since it's been pretty much everywhere. And it does end the story in a very satisfying manner, and delivers an excellent movie along the way. So, just because I didn't review any of the Marvel movies since for my own personal reasons, I'll give my thoughts now. Ant-Man and the Wasp was a fun movie that isn't as good as the best Marvel movies, but that's a pretty high bar to reach. Captain Marvel was okay, but it's so generic that I think it was one of the lesser Marvel movies in some time. Oh, and by the way, her role in Endgame is dramatically oversold. She's barely in it. She could have been cut out completely, and I doubt many people would even notice. Okay, now on to the review. This movie is as funny and action-packed as the best of the MCU movies. In fact, the final act is quite possibly the most epic sequence in a long time. The story is complex, and at times some aspects are kind of confusing, but this 3-hour-long movie tells what could almost be a series worth of plot as tightly as Avengers Infinity War did, which is to say, pretty well. The ending isn't as surprising as you may be expecting after Infinity War, but it does wrap up the Avengers franchise very nicely, and it has emotional heft. I mean, not the same as Infinity War, I mean, during the credits of that movie everyone was struck by surprise and confusion. I heard a little kid crying in the row behind me. Probably should have mentioned that in my first review. No, this is a different kind of emotional impact. Not especially happy, but a good satisfying mixture. Endgame is great at wrapping up the 11-year, 22-film adventure, at least until we inevitably get a crap ton more of them. But it is the end of the Avengers franchise, and everything they do after this will be supposedly different. And this movie does feel like the end of an era, and even if it does have a little too much plot and isn't as surprising as its predecessor, it's still an exciting, action-packed, funny, and heartfelt goodbye to that era.